Hello, if you like guitars, acoustic guitars, then I bet you've got more than one. I've got too many, I'm afraid. I'm embarrassed to say, but still. This video is all about, I'm very interested to know what type of acoustic guitar you've got. Now I tend to have a lot of second-hand acoustic guitars which I pick up from here and there. This one is a Framus. It's a German guitar made in Bavaria. Cost me less than €100 or less than $100 elsewhere. Framus went bust in the 70s, late 70s, and this one was probably built, I don't know, in the late 60s, early 70s. They used the name again in the 90s, and they sort of resurrected the name, and it sort of went American. The headquarters were in New York and various places. So if you're looking for a real Framus guitar, look for an old one, and they're fabulous guitars. This one hasn't got the best sound in the world, but the thing about it is it's a nice feel about it. I don't know how many coffee cups you've got, coffee mugs or tea mugs, but you probably, if you've got 5 or 6, you probably have one favourite that you probably keep using. You wash it out and you use it again. The others just stay. The newer ones stay pristine in the cupboard. And same with the guitar. This one is hung in my front room on a beam. It's got a really nice thin neck. The strings are close to the, you probably can't see, but the strings are close to the fretboard, which means it's quite easy to play a bar chord. And they're not too close, so you get fret buzz, which is when you get that sort of strange, when you play up here, you get that pss, that sort of buzzing sound, which means that your strings usually are too close to the fretboard. I'd like to show you this one, which is actually one I bought new about 14 years ago, 13 or 14 years ago at a music shop in Germany. As you can see, it was a 12 string. I thought it was a good idea at the time, and I probably used it as a 12 string for 6 months, and then I got fed up of tuning it, and so I spotted online that a lot of people use these 12 string guitars as 6 string. Just take 6 strings off, and hopefully you've got a nice sounding. And this is a really big sounding guitar. It's a Simon and Patrick, made in Canada, at somewhere in Quebec, I think, or Montreal, or wherever, I don't know. Really nice guitar, but quite heavy, so you won't want to stand up and play it for very long. It's a wider neck, but again, it's got a lovely action, and you can play a nice bar chord with it. And the great thing about changing a 12 string to a 6 string is that you can finger pick. You've got lots more room. You don't get your fingers sort of... You don't get your fingers tied up. A lot more space, so it's good when you're learning how to finger pick to use one of these. And if you look online, you can usually pick up a 12 string, an old 12 string guitar, very cheap, €50 on eBay. Nobody really wants them, and very few people realise that they make great 6 string guitars. I'm sort of a fan of travel guitars too, 3/4 guitars. A lot of kids play them simply because they feel more comfortable than that big, a big chunky guitar. I've had quite a few over the years, but I've sold them. For some reason I've sold them. They hold their value really well, and so if you try to buy a second-hand one, then generally speaking, they're not much cheaper than new ones. This one I managed to get at a good price though. This is a James Nelligan Mini, it's called, made by Stag, which is the Belgian company, but I think they're manufactured in, I think they're actually made in China. I think so. The great thing about this guitar though, kept its tune. Is that it sounds like a full-size guitar. It's really loud. It's got a really bright, sparkling sound, and it feels nice. And it's got a Fishman. This one's got a Fishman. I don't know whether this was manufactured with a new Fishman pickup in or not, because all my guitars, I mean, I don't play, I used to play them on stage with my daughter at little festivals in Germany. So far I've showed you steel guitars. This of course is a nylon guitar, very unusual, very slim. It's an Ibanez. Even though it's so slim, it's electric, of course. And the great thing about this is that if you are into playing to an amplifier, you can plug your DIN plug directly into it, so you tend to get a better sound. Also, you can plug your normal jack plug, but it's got a DIN entry there. So this is for folk singers. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Completely different sound to a steel string guitar, to a Western guitar. This is these are very old strings on here, as you can see. They're really a real mess, so it really does need changing. I used to play this a little bit on stage with my daughter, and when we played folk songs. It's a great feeling guitar. It's a great feel guitar because yeah, it's almost like electric. It looks like an electric. It feels good. It's light as a feather, and of course it's black. It's got your black machine heads and everything. Great guitar. I would definitely recommend this one if you're into nylon strings. It's a mid-price guitar. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg. And again, this particular one has a great action, so it's so easy to play bar chords. Yeah, of course, you've got a nicer sounding traditional nylon string guitar, classical guitar if you like, even though it's got a nice cutaway here, so you can actually reach higher up. This one has got again, the strings are very old, but it's got a nice Spanish ring feel about it. It's an Ortega or an Ortega, or I don't know how you pronounce it. Designed in Germany, made in China. There we go. Great guitar. This has got a bit bashed up because I've taken it all over Germany, this one, and played it on stage, little festival stages and stuff, and it's great. It's a real friend, an old friend. I've gone off nylon string guitars a little bit. Much nicer on the fingers if you play a lot. But I've gone into Western guitars a bit more because I'm playing sort of busker songs now. You might notice online I've got a few busker songs, and I think for playing party songs, yeah, I think you need steel strings. With any guitar, it could help if you get better strings. It's a good idea to look online and see what other people are saying about what particular strings play well on their particular guitar, their model. You could try different tensions. You could try. I wouldn't pay an arm and a leg for a set of strings, because quite frankly they don't last that long, and I'm not sure they make that much difference. But I think the cheap set of strings don't ring out quite the same as a better quality set of strings. So you could sort of look at that for improving the guitar you've got. If you think, oh, do I need another guitar, or can I try and improve this one? And lastly, I'm going to show you another Western guitar. This is a Kuiper or a Keeper or a Caper, I don't know. You can see all the dust on it, can't you? You see how often I play this one. This one I bought on eBay for €10. Can you believe that? €10. But the nut was missing, and I had one at home just lying around, and I've stuck it on with a bit of cardboard underneath because it was too low, and it seems to work. It's fine for a beginner's guitar. I'd love to hear from you. I mean, I don't normally ask people to comment and what have you, but I'm really interested to know what sort of guitar you play. Acoustic, not electric, not a solid guitar. I'm just interested in acoustic guitars, semi-acoustic guitars. I'd like to know what make you've got, what unusual makes. And I've got a Romanian guitar, which with one of those old-fashioned pickups on, which sounds great. I picked that up really cheaply. So I'd be interested to know, and I'll answer you, I promise. And yeah, best of luck with your guitar playing.